The town of Greystone was the kind of place where nothing extraordinary ever happened. Its days were filled with the humdrum of everyday life, with neighbors exchanging pleasantries and children playing in the quiet streets. But all of that changed on a cold autumn night when the body of Lily Harper was discovered in the park. Lily was well known in Greystone, a bright and friendly girl who had just turned 16. The news of her death spread quickly, leaving the community in shock and mourning. Her lifeless body was found under the pale light of a street lamp by a man walking his dog late at night. She lay there, unnaturally still, with no visible wounds or signs of struggle. Beside her was a folded note that chilled everyone to the bone. It simply read, "She knew too much." That cryptic message sent the townsfolk into a frenzy of speculation. What could Lily, a teenager with no known enemies, have possibly known that made her a target for such a horrific act? The police launched an investigation immediately, but the case seemed perplexing from the start. Lily's life appeared ordinary at first glance. She attended high school, did well in her classes, and spent time with her best friend, Emma. But as the detectives began to dig deeper, they discovered an unusual hobby of Lily's that set the stage for what would become one of Greystone's darkest mysteries. Emma revealed that Lily had recently become fascinated by a decades-old urban legend about a hidden treasure. According to local folklore, Walter Griggs, a miserly recluse, had buried a fortune somewhere in Greystone before his mysterious death in the early 1900s. Over the years, many dismissed the tale as nothing more than a fanciful story, but Lily had been convinced it was true. In the weeks leading up to her death, she had spent her weekends exploring the park and nearby woods, searching for any clues that might lead her to the treasure. The police considered this obsession a possible motive. Could Lily have found something that made someone want to silence her? But the evidence was scarce, and the note found beside her offered little direction. It was written in block letters, making it impossible to trace. Meanwhile, fear gripped the community. Parents kept their children indoors, and rumors swirled about who could have committed such an unthinkable crime. While the police pursued leads, a group of amateur investigators began their own search for answers. Among them was Marjorie, the town's librarian, whose interest in the case bordered on obsession. She pored over old town records and archives, hoping to uncover anything that might explain Lily's murder. Her efforts paid off when she stumbled upon a map tucked inside a forgotten file. The map appeared to be a hand-drawn depiction of the park, marked with an X near a large oak tree. This clue reignited interest in the urban legend of Walter Griggs, and Marjorie wasted no time in sharing her discovery with the police. When they investigated the marked location, they made a startling find. Beneath the tree was an entrance to an underground passage, hidden for decades. Inside the passage, the police discovered a small, decrepit room. It was damp and smelled of decay, its walls lined with rotting wood. In the center of the room was a rusted metal box. Inside the box, they found old documents, including a diary belonging to Walter Griggs. The diary detailed his paranoia and hinted at dealings with individuals he described as dangerous. It was a potential breakthrough, but it raised more questions than it answered. The investigation took another dramatic turn when forensic experts analyzed the diary and discovered fingerprints belonging to Victor Hale, the town's mayor. Hale was a respected figure in Greystone, known for his charisma and dedication to the community. The revelation of his connection to the diary shocked everyone, and speculation ran wild. Hale admitted to having visited the underground room years ago, claiming it was part of a personal project to document the town's history. He vehemently denied any involvement in Lily's death and insisted he knew nothing about the note or the treasure. Despite his protests, suspicion continued to mount. Then came another twist. Security footage from a nearby shop revealed a masked figure in the park on the night of Lily's murder. The figure appeared to be carrying a spade and moved with a purpose, as though searching for something. The police released the footage to the public, hoping someone would recognize the individual. The case took its final, shocking turn when Emma came forward with a confession. She revealed that Lily had confided in her weeks before her death, saying she felt like someone was watching her. At the time, Emma had brushed it off, thinking her friend was imagining things. But now, with the masked figure in the hidden room, Emma's guilt for not taking Lily seriously weighed heavily on her. The masked figure was eventually identified as Carl Devins, a local handyman with a criminal record. Under questioning, Devins admitted he had been hired by a wealthy collector to retrieve Grigg's treasure. When Lily discovered the hidden room, she unknowingly put herself in danger. Devins, terrified of being exposed, acted out of desperation. With Devins' confession, the case was closed, but the scars left behind remained. Greystone would never forget the tragedy or the secrets that had come to light. Lily Harper's life was cut short, but her story became a haunting reminder of the dangers hidden in the shadows of even the quietest towns.